Hi Aspire Goal viewers, you are with me Shruti Magesh. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe Aspire Goal and hit the bell icon. Now, I hope you are good and we'll start the acquired immunity. What is acquired? So the term acquired means it is acquired from outside, either by pathogen or from other person. The acquired immunity is characterized by memory. So when our body encounters the pathogen for the first time, it produces the primary response. And when the same pathogen enter our body, the body produces the secondary response. So the primary response takes very longer time to respond to that type of pathogen because it is the first time our body encountered that type of pathogen and that type of antigen. While the secondary response produced is very fast, because the memory produced in primary response help our body to recognize that type of pathogen and respond to it very quickly. It is less intense, and while here it is more intense in nature. Now let us look at the features of the acquired immunity. Specificity. They are specific for specific microorganisms. So the acquired immunity is specific for specific microorganism. They can respond only to the specific microorganism. Now, diversity. This system recognizes vast variety of microorganisms. So it can respond to various types of microorganisms. We have many types of antigen even present on the same pathogen. It can respond to it differently. Discrimination between self and non-self. So this type of immunity has the ability to discriminate between which is our own self and which is virus infected cells or tumor cells which is present. So this takes place with the help of T lymphocytes, and it is characterized by memory as already stated. Now let us look at the graph for the acquired immunity. So the graph here, time period is taken in x-axis and antibody concentration in blood is taken in y-axis. So here the antigen A enters our body. When the antigen A enters our body, the acquired immunity or immunity of our body takes longer time to recognize that type of antigen and respond to it. So here we have a longer gap. So here you can see that we have a longer time gap to respond to it. Longer time period and produces very slight response, very less intense response is produced. While the same antigen is entered in our body for the second time, the time period is very less. So you can see the time period is very less and produces a very high intense response. Now when the antigen B with the we have say different types of antigen present on say even the same pathogen, or it can present on different types of pathogen. So when the antigen B encounters the body, it produces the response. So here as stated, antigen A and antigen B, when they are new to that type of antigen, they takes very long time to respond it. Now let us look at the types of acquired immunity. We have classified the acquired immunity in two main types, that is active immunity and passive immunity. So you can easily memorize this, or even you can easily remember this by grammar. We all know that active immunity is active speech, that is from one person to another person, while passive immunity is from the third person. So for example, if we consider the person 1 as person, next is pathogen. So the person 1 is person and the person 2 is pathogen. So when the pathogen encounters or enters our body, the host system or the person responds to it. So this is direct contact. Here it is active. While in passive immunity, we have person 1, pathogen 1 and person 2. So the pathogen enters the body of the person 2 and the person 2 responds to it by antibodies. Here also the same thing takes place. The person 1 responds to the pathogen with the antibodies. Here it is the acquired immunity. So this antibodies produced in response to that of pathogen is taken up to the person 1. This is indirect. Here it is direct, while here it is indirect. So the antibodies are produced in the one body itself, while here the antibodies are produced in another person and it is brought from that person into the body of the first person. So you can easily remember this by grammar. Active speech and passive speech would be the good example for this active and passive immunity. So the differentiation between this active and passive immunity: when the pathogen enters the host via living matter or dead. So antigen could be either living or dead, but it produces some virulence in the body. The response shown by the body is known as active immunity by the body itself, the host. When the ready-made antibodies are given to produce the immediate response is called passive immunity. So here antibodies. Active immunity, so it is active, direct, while passive immunity, antibodies. This should be kept in mind. Now let us look at the differentiation column. So active immunity and passive immunity produced by host, that is actively produced by the body, while received from outside, passively received from outside. Induced by contact, direct contact, or by injection. We have antigens. These are killed or attenuated. So these are actually the vaccines. So vaccines are usually contain the antigens of those particular type of pathogens, so that our body produces primary response, which is less efficient or less intense in nature. Our body neutralize it and do not show much effects outside the body. Ready-made antibodies are given. So antibodies which is produced in another person body is brought to the body of the person one. Immune response is durable and effective. So when the response produced, the memory is stored in our body and it is effective in nature, while the immune response is only immediate recovery and it is not durable. So it is durable throughout our life. The memory which is produced by the primary response remains in the body throughout our life, while here no memory is produced. It takes longer time to respond. Immediate response would be given. So it takes very longer time to recognize that type of pathogen, while here we have ready-made antibodies for that type of that particular antigen. So it produces an immediate response. Immunological memory is present, memory is absent. Not used for immunodeficient host, while it is applicable for the immunodeficient host. So passive immunity is given to counteract the snake venom, rabies and tetanus toxin. So we have different most group of antigen in the snake venom. So we could not wait for the primary response to produce by our body. So it could be fatal. So ready-made antibodies are given in this case. Rabies is also the same case. Tetanus toxin. Tetanus actually appears as infection and he may die even in 1 hour. So tetanus toxin is important here. You may get question that what is the disease where ready-made antibodies are given. So you should be answer that tetanus toxin, while snake venom consists of both antigen and antibody. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe as per goal. Bye.